Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Thanks for being with me today. I like your partner in crime there too.
Oh, yes. The kitty came to join me today.
So, Roseann, tell me what in the world is Hauntfest LLC?
It's Hope.
Ups, right?
Sorry, what was that?
Kind of like a pop-up, like we think at Christmas time, like these little pop-up things, but this is something haunted related.
Yeah, and I'd say it's a little bit bigger than a pop-up. To me, Hauntfest is kind of like a big Halloween party, but off season. So we do this all different kinds of the year, and have been trying to expand to different places. And so our next event is in Greenville, but there's live music, vendors, activities, other themed entertainment, but it's all centered around horror and the horror arts, the macabre, anything related to that.
Yeah, I took a look at the website and the Facebook page. So your event in Greenville is what? Starts December 13th, Friday 13th.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
Yeah. So tell me about that particular event.
So this event in Greenville, we're trying something a little bit new. Nightmare Dungeon Haunted Attraction, of course, is already there, and me and my family have gone for years, and I've really enjoyed it. But usually our festivals are at different venues like breweries or sometimes camps in the woods. But this is a new type of venue for us. So we thought maybe it would be fun to kind of combine our markets, because Nightmare Dungeon already has their Christmas event and they do events on Friday the 13th. And so with the addition of Hauntfest, we'll be outside of the haunted attraction during the festival with the music and the vendors, etc., and food and drink. And then they will also be hosting their haunted attraction that weekend as well. So you could do one or both things if you come out.
So tell me what the Hauntfest, what y'all do. I know you said it's a festival and your event, but tell me what happens with you guys outside of Nightmare Dungeon.
Yeah, so basically, it's a ticketed event. You can come dressed in costume. I like to kind of describe this to people as a Renaissance fair almost, but with a spooky twist. So you come, you can dress the part, enjoy food and drink that are all themed to the event. You go listen to some music. We have bands pretty much going the whole time, and we've got flow artists there. All the vendors are, of course, themed to the event. So, someone just applied just now, actually, who does glass art that's all spooky themed. It's like organs and things that you can wear as a necklace, which is a little freaky, but yeah. That's the kind of stuff we're into. Sometimes we have animals on site. So this event, there's actually a petting zoo. Emmett's Farm is coming and bringing various types of animals for the petting zoo. And we've had snakes in the past and kittens dressed in Halloween costumes, things of that matter. But yeah, so we've got burgers coming and barbecue trucks, and the Traveling Tavern is going to be selling beer and wine. So you just kind of come, have a good time with your friends and family, and hang out with us for a while. And we also have scare actors that walk around during the event to try to spook you while you're hanging out. So that's another.
So there's like live music and vendors. And you said what kind of artist?
Macabre art. Sometimes there's taxidermy. There's, individual artists that
can be scary
artwork. Lots of jewelry artists. There's also let's see, there's one that signed up for this event that I'm really excited about. The Shrunk 3D Greenville. I don't know if you've heard of them before.
No.
But I think what they do is they put you in their trailer box and do a scan of your body, and they print a little 3D action figure of you, which that's really cool, especially if you come, all dressed up in costume, ready for the event. This is to go all out and then get a miniature version of yourself. Um,
Yeah. How did y'all come up with this idea, or came up with this idea, I guess?
um, I started the business. I'm a student, undergraduate at UGA, and I'm actually graduating that weekend of the event.
Oh, wow.
But it was kind of an accident. I have always loved Halloween. My family's always done a Halloween party, and we used to have a haunted house in my home growing up. So it's always just been near and dear to me. And in college, I kind of learned, I love getting together, having gatherings at my house, and realized that I could kind of combine, having a party and my love for Halloween into one event, and live music, because I've always loved live music. So ended up going to an after school program for entrepreneurs, and they suggested that I kind of tested the idea to see if people would want to go to a kind of horror event outside of the month of October. So
Yeah.
I hosted one in Athens, Georgia, in May, and it had an incredible turnout, and people were really excited about it and wanted it to come back. I had no idea it was going to pop off, and so since then I've been trying to grow it.
Yeah. And see, I know you have another one coming up. What is it after this? It'll be sometime in April, I guess, back in Athens, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So now, you've got, well, who are your entertainers? Do you already have your entertainers lined up for the December one in Greenville?
Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to advertise them just yet. Those
Oh, okay.
clips just came out this past week, so we're still waiting on responses before that will be released. But I'd say there's going to be probably 5 to 6 bands a day, and they'll just be going throughout the event, switching out lots of different local bands. Some are volunteer, some are paid. When they sign up, they can choose either or, and some are kind enough to volunteer the event, which is really awesome, especially for a first year event to get us off the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll all be released on the entertainer info page of our website whenever it's ready. In our socials, we also love to share that. So if anyone's interested in seeing the music lineup, that'll be coming out soon.
Yeah. So now, in combination, I guess, with the, what was it called? The
Nightmare Dungeon haunted attraction.
Dungeon, yes.
Yes.
So, that's going to be a pretty big event, because, I mean, for people who don't know what that is, help them there, explain what that is.
So Nightmare Dungeon is a haunted house that is permanent. It's been there for years and years. I don't know when they opened, but every time they have their events, it's packed. You go get your tickets, you stand in line. They have games and things you can play while you're waiting in line, because they, have a lot of people come. But they are one of only a few places that actually does events outside of October, which I think is super cool.
Yeah.
So they always have their Christmas event. It's I think it's only one weekend usually when they do that, and then they'll have Friday the 13th events. But they have their own website if you'd like to check it out and kind of see more of what they do. But they're professionals, and it's a pretty awesome haunted house.
Yeah. And y'all will be right outside of there with all the vendors and the music and that kind of stuff. So, and tell me again, the event will be, I know it's that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Mhm.
And the times?
It's from 2 p.m. to midnight each night. Whatever ends up wrapping up. So, Sunday night may end a little earlier, just depends on how long people want to stay out there, but we'll have things to do up until midnight.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, where do you think this is headed? I know you've got another event. Do you think you're going to keep doing this? I mean, I know you're graduating, but job already in line?
The plan is to see how far this can go. I'd like to make this a national event if I can, and just, after graduation, go full speed and see if I can get an annual event going in each area. And right now, this Greenville event, I'm hoping, if it catches on, that this could be the annual event for South Carolina. But, it all
Well, how is Columbia, by the way?
We try to avoid bigger cities because I think that it's really important to focus on the arts and art-based areas, music-based areas that are kind of mid-sized versus, we won't do an event in Atlanta, for instance, because it's just too big of a city. They have enough going on there already. There's lots of things going on all the time. So we like to find areas that may not have something like this going on already and who people may want to, have it in their backyard versus having to drive hours to go see something like this.
Right. Well, for that matter, come to Lexington, which is where I am. We're on the outskirts of Columbia, but we have lots of bands, lots of artists. I have talked to many bands, but yeah, you should check us out, and I'll hook you up with maybe some people who could help you get that started. But yeah, that's exciting. I mean, I'm a big haunted house person, but I like a real haunted house. I want somebody to really scare me. When 9 times out of 10, I just come out laughing, but just have that, that thing where I remember taking my son when he was little and he was scared, and I'd say, "Hon, just hang on to the left." We're coming out on the left, to the right. And it was just one of those senses that you kind of have, so I'm waiting on the haunted house. That really scares me. But anyway, I can't get my husband to go with me, so I'll have to find somebody to go. But yeah, I like the idea. I think this is great. Now, what else can you tell me about the weekend that's going to be going on there at the festival?
Let's see. One thing.
A lot, I know.
So on Fridays and Saturdays, they're more catered to adults. So if you're looking to come and have, see a lot more gore or have a lot more scares at the event, that's when we tell our actors, you go crazy. This is the day for adults, or the 2 days. And Sundays are more family oriented. So if you have kids that, might be too afraid to go into Nightmare Dungeon, for instance, but you want to come enjoy a Halloween themed event, that's the day to go. Less gore, our actors are told, be less scary, be kind to the kids, they'll kneel down next to them, take pictures. And we have trick-or-treating on those days and other, themed events for kids.
Oh, Lord, another way for them to get candy.
But yeah, so if you are interested in coming, just keep that in mind, if you want to decide which days based on that information. But yeah, we also, typically have authors come out that do thriller and horror themed literature. So if you are an author and interested in coming, vendor applications are still open, as well as we're looking for event staff and things of that nature. But another thing I hadn't mentioned is we do crafts. So the Hauntfest merch area, we have activities like pumpkin painting. And even if it's off season, we'll have little plastic pumpkins that you can paint and bring home with you. The little ones are free, and then we have bigger ceramic ones if you're really into painting that you can purchase at the merch area. On Sunday, we also do a release of the ghouls. So Friday and Saturday, the ghouls are out all day. But Sunday for the family-friendly event at 6 p.m., I believe, we'll have all the ghouls come onto the stage and have a little speech and release them out. So if you have kids that really seriously cannot even look at a scary person, you're safe, from 2 to 6 p.m., there won't be any out. And then at 6, it still won't be super crazy, but it'll just be like, here's everybody that's going to go out into the crowd, and they'll be released into the festival.
Oh, neat. Yeah. Neat. Well, now, when you talk about these actors and actresses, is there they just kind of walk around doing their own thing, or they actually put together kind of what they're going to do together, or is there a practice, or it's just really they just do their own thing?
They really kind of do their own thing. I don't know if you're familiar with Mad World, but they kind of have spooks within this area at the end of the haunt where you can just kind of hang out, and there's a fire pit and they walk around. And that's kind of what is they're out there to get pictures with people, to sneak up behind you when you're not paying attention. But yeah, I mean, if they wanted to get together and do something, I can't tell you if they've talked ahead of time, but as far as just them free roaming, they will just be there for your enjoyment.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. So again, the 13th through the 5th, December 13th through the 15th, in Greenville, and in front of the Nightmare Dungeon. And where is that located? I was looking for an address.
I believe it's 645. Let me double check before I say it. I've been typing it a lot over and over recently. Yeah, 645 Old Anderson Road.
In Greenville.
Yes.
Well, I hope I get to come check it out. I'm not sure I'll be able to that weekend. It turns out to be I have a Santa event myself, so and a book signing with an author, children's books, not scary. But hopefully, maybe we'll be able to squeeze that in. But y'all have a great time. Sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for coming to tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you don't mind, there's a couple more things I just remembered.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of a big deal.
I thought there was a lot. That's why I asked.
Yeah, sorry. I ended up needing to scroll through the website. There's so much to remember here. One of the things is we have trivia. So if you're interested in horror themed trivia, we give out prizes for that. There's costume contests. So really, we want to encourage you, if you want to come out, to dress up, cosplay, do whatever you do. Spookier the better, but also it is a Christmas event, so take that as you will. Some people may want to come out Christmas themed. You know, we've got Krampus. Krampus is a big one. And then where is it? We are also doing face painting. So there may also be a balloon artist. So if you're into any of that, you can go get your face painted, and maybe they'll spook you up for the contest. Who knows? And then one other thing is we do have a haunted car showcase. So there are several people bringing hearses for display for the event. So if you're into cars, that's also something I should have mentioned earlier.
That's okay. That's cool. I'm glad. I knew there was a good bit. That's why I was asking. Yeah. Well, the car thing, yeah, that does sound cool.
Yeah.
Too fun. Do you think of anything else?
Right now, no. I'm sure something will come up later, but it's all right. It's all on the website. So if you're interested in learning more about the event, we try to keep that as updated as possible. And our Instagram is @hauntfest.athens, even though it's for the Greenville event, I know. But that's where we will send highlights about specific vendors and things as they come out. So
good.
Yeah, interested in keeping up with it, that's where to look.
Yeah, it's hauntfest.net.
Yes.
And then the Facebook is Hauntfest LLC. And then
yes. And there is a group. Yeah, there is a group on Facebook called Hauntfest South Carolina. So if you're interested in joining the group, anytime we have an event in South Carolina, we'll be posting information there.
Oh, cool. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. This was great. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hope y'all have a great turnout. I'm sure you will.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion.